news. I've heard them 1,000 times. My relatives were not excessively bright. They loved to go off on missions to rather peculiar climes and lead the wretched heathen to the light. Many of them got beaten up in course of these rampages. My great-aunt Maud got eaten up while singing the Rock of Ages. These family expeditions admittedly are a bore. But there is just one uncle whom I positively adore. Poor Uncle Harry wanted to be a missionary, so he took a boat and sailed away. This visionary, hotly pursued by dear Aunt Mary, found a South Sea isle on which to stay. Now the natives treated them kindly and invited them to dine on yams and clams and human hams and vintage coconut wine, the taste of which was filthy, but the after effects divine. Poor Uncle Harry got a bit gay and longed to tarry. This Aunt Mary couldn't quite allow. She lectured him severely on a number of church affairs, but when she'd gone to bed, he made a getaway down the stairs, for he longed to find the answer to a few of the maiden's prayers. Uncle Harry's not a missionary now. Poor Uncle Harry, after a chat with dear Aunt Mary, thought the time had come to make a row. He lined up all the older girls in one of the local sheds, and while he was reviling them and tearing himself to shreds, they took their Mother Hubbards off and wrapped them around his head. Uncle Harry's not a missionary now. Uncle Harry... Sorry. I've got a physical problem. Okay. Now, Uncle was just a dreamer, a seeker sincerely blessed. Of this there couldn't be a shadow of doubt. The fact that his flesh was weaker than even Aunt Mary guessed took even her some time to figure out. In all those languid latitudes, the atmosphere's exotic. To take up moral attitudes would be too idiotic, though nobody could be meeker than Uncle had been before. I bet today he's giving way at practically every pore. Poor Uncle Harry, having become a missionary, found the natives' morals rather crude. He and Aunt Mary swiftly imposed an arbitrary ban upon them shopping in the nude. Now, they all thought this was silly, and they didn't take to it well. They burnt his boots and several suits, and they wrecked the Mission Hotel. They also burnt his rubber Macintosh, which made a disgusting smell. Poor Uncle Harry, after a chat with dear Aunt Mary, called upon the chiefs for a powwow. But they didn't brandish knives at him. They really were awfully sweet. They made concerted dives at him and offered him things to eat. But when they threw their wives at him, he had to admit defeat. Uncle Harry's not a missionary now. Poor dear Aunt Mary, though it were revolutionary, thought her time had come to take a bow. Poor Uncle Harry looked at her in whom he had placed his trust. His very last illusion broke and crumbled away to dust. For she placed a flower behind each ear and frankly exposed her bust. Uncle Harry's not a missionary now. He's left the island, but he's awfully happy, but he's certainly not a missionary now.